So, Flavia, you call yourself an uncertainty specialist.
Yeah. It was such a relief when I realized that this is what I was. Before the realization, the recognition, and then when people would ask me, what is it that I did? I dreaded it. It was really hard to explain all the different aspects of my work. And then since then, it's been many years, maybe 12 years, I've been calling myself an uncertainty specialist. Even taxi cabs will say, oh, me too. And I say, okay, great. We are colleagues then.
Well, different applications.
Yes.
Yeah.
So uncertainty is the common thread that runs through the different aspects of my work. My academic work in finance, then my practical work with decision making, and my lifelong interest in how we know what we know. And lifelong research into that. And uncertainty, as I define it, is that which escapes what's already formatted.
So that which escapes what is already formatted.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So thinking out of the box, not thinking out of the box, but happening out of the box.
Yes, it's like uncertainty is what escapes the box.
Yeah.
What escapes the box? What escapes the box? So it's it's like uncertainty is like the Tao. The moment you format it, which you need to do to model it, right? You're no longer talking about it.
So in a way you can capture it, but when you capture it, you kill it.
Well, yes, when you capture it conceptually, you can have an apprehension of it.
And so when you start talking about apprehension, maybe that's where we shift into felt sense and things like that.
Well, yes. We can think of it in this way. It's like because uncertainty is not formatted. Okay, let's shift in the felt sense, and we can go back there.
Good.
To uncertainty when we want. In terms of felt sense, yes. An example that that really that shows what I mean by that is like that can give people a clearer sense of my practical work with it. Right? You know what it's like when you make a decision and everything looks perfectly reasonable and rational on paper, and you can explain it to anyone, and something inside it goes, it doesn't sit right. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. And then if you go by the apparent logic, the decision is very likely to go wrong. And then later on, when the future arrives, you will see that there was some crucial factor. You can see in retrospect that there was some crucial factor that was escaping the logic that you were using. You follow me?
Yeah.
Yes. And then somehow you knew it. Somehow, right? Somehow. But that information, that knowing, wasn't formatted in a way that you could think logically, sequentially with it. Yeah. And what you had really, what you could feel was the mismatch between the way you were thinking about the situation and your felt sense of the whole.
Yeah. So it's like you have information in let's say on a frequency that you can't hear consciously. And so when you just look at the data, that's the box, that's what you know, that's logical thinking, that's the reasoning, you have a certain set of information. And then there is some information that is only available to you at a different level that's not conceptual, and that is not in sync.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's like it's not that it's like one frequency. It's like we live in this sea of frequencies that surrounds us, penetrates us, is us, right? And there we are resonating at this level, and we are knowing by resonance, and that's what allows us to move about in the world. And next to that, we have what's already formatted and conceptualized.
But so when you say we're moving by resonance, again, maybe that's something needs to be developed a little bit. It's like in opposition to that model where we think that we make decisions based on logic, reasoning, and there's something else.
Well, yeah, it's like yes, there is something else. There is something else, and the best decisions are made are made by your the organismic decisions. They are organismic decisions. They are not based on reasoning. I mean, it's not that they are unreasonable or that they are irrational. It's just that they are more than logical. I don't call them less than rational. I call them more than logical.
More than logical. So that in a way, there's something else in it. And that's where we're talking about outside the box. That's what we're talking about in a way to answer to that question that fascinates you. How do we know what we know?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And one way we know what we know is not just logic, but that kind of a body sense.
Yes, it's like logic, and the body sense. Then, like logic, can then work with your body sense. So your body sense can turn. Logic always needs its assumptions, right? It cannot possibly make its own assumptions.
Right.
So it's like you have some assumptions, and logic then goes on from there. Right. So now what tells you if those assumptions jive with the situation or not? It cannot possibly be logic itself.
And so that's where we introduce resonance.
Yes.
That you talked about, yeah.
Yes.
So how would you define that experience? How would you describe it?
How would I describe it? Oh, I mean the example of the funny feeling you get. The funny feeling you get when the way you are thinking about a situation doesn't really match your felt sense of the whole. This is a good way. Everybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Everybody can relate to that.
Yeah. And so
that's the door in or the door yin, to this type of preconceptual knowledge.
So that sense of feels right, doesn't feel right. So it's like, essentially like a pattern recognition. It's not like analyzing, it's not cutting, it's not, that kind of logic, but it feels right, doesn't feel right. See, in sync, not in sync.
In sync, not in sync, yes. In sync, not in sync, I would use those words. Pattern recognition or not, no, because it doesn't feel right. In sync, not in sync, yes. It's like sometimes It's like our bodies are all the time, or our organisms, right, are all the time saying yes, 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 no, 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 yeah, no, and that's how we are moving about the world all the time. It's just we don't, as you say, and it's just we don't pay attention to it. It's so obvious that it's elusive.
Right. But so maybe paying attention to when we say or we have this kind of resonance is that so to be more aware of how much we're functioning through sensing.
Yeah. Yes, yes, sure. Yes, of course. Of course, we are functioning, and the better we are functioning, the more we are functioning through sensing. It's like when we are, it's like everybody has situations, some people more, some people less, where you're functioning by conventions, by shoulds, by habits. And that feels very tight, very gray and pretty dead.
Yeah. So very tight, very gray, very dead. Yeah.
Yes. So it's like because like what is not yet formatted is hard to see, right? It's invisible. And so you have to pay attention to something which is not yet there. You know what I mean? Not there yet. And if you're paying attention to it, that brings it into focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just in this day and age with, computers and the habit of what's formatted, what's readable in one language or another, that's certainly something that we can relate to as a metaphor. What's not formatted is not visible. It's like a disk from a different operating system that your computer can't read.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it exactly this way.
Yeah.
That which, I mean, like from one computer to another computer, right? It's like that which the computer is not. That which the computer cannot do.
Okay.
More than anything.
Yeah. So using our ordinary consensus reality functioning, logical thinking, as a computer, that's something that is not, that the computer cannot grasp.
Yes, that's something that the computer cannot grasp. That's the limits of so-called artificial intelligence. That's also something which artificial intelligence people cannot really grasp. And I know what I'm talking about. I've been living in Silicon Valley now for a year. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do we know what we know is by not just using logic, but also that ability to sense, that ability to be in sync with that felt sense connection with the situation, seeing the world, seeing situations by thinking of grasping the situation as a whole and starting to have a reaction to it.
That's right.
And so having that, maybe that might seem the exact opposite of a field as quote-unquote serious as finance, where a lot of money is involved. So maybe it could seem a little paradoxical, but maybe do you want to talk a little bit about your work in that area?
Yes. So, in fact, I mean, the paradox is not with finance, with trading, investing itself. It is with the theory of it, right? It's like with the standard theory of economics, standard theory of finance that sees agents as better or worse information processors, right? Now, it's like I really like the invisible, and then so I have and I pay attention to it like like the hugest majority of economists or finance people, they pay attention to something which is like let me put it differently. I pay attention to something which is both more abstract and at the same time more concrete than what the great majority of people that think about finance and economics do. So I occupy myself with the invisible, both at the level of meta theory or the paradigms we use, and the worldviews we use, and also at the visceral level, right, at the felt sensing level. So it's both more abstract. My thinking about my theoretical thinking is more abstract, and my practical thinking is more concrete and experiential. And this mid-level where most people spend their lives, that doesn't interest me the least. So the thing is, I already many years ago, over 20 years ago, let's not talk about theory too much right now, because that is going to bore.
Well, I'm not so sure, but maybe we can come back to it, because I think it would be, and maybe it's better to come back to it. But
all right, okay. So the standard notion of rationality, where you have people are rational agents, they maximize the expected utility of their function of their future consumption. That obviously doesn't apply. That doesn't apply to me. That doesn't apply to you, and that doesn't apply to any market participant either, to any speculator or investor or trader either.
Yeah. So the paradox with that theory is that, in a way, we pay lip service to it as being the theory about how the market works, but on the other hand, it's totally opposite from our direct experience of it.
Well, it's opposite to our direct experience of it, and it's bad theory too. So my theory is not of that kind. I am not playing experience against theory. I have a different theory. But right now we are just talking about something which is more pragmatic.
Okay.
Right? But it's like, put it this way, the regular theory, the common theory, the theory that is taught at most schools and that most people associate with economic thinking, right? That one is completely, it completely doesn't go with, it's violated by our experience. And if you go and ask, and then so what I realize is that this notion of rationality, it only applies, that this notion of economic rationality and of economic choice only applies to a world of certainty, not of uncertainty. And I mean, they will cheat in different ways. They can make it probabilistic, they can make it stochastic, they can postulate a world of that where all possible contingencies are covered by future contracts. But in any case, however you model it, you're collapsing time. There is no time.
Mm-hmm.
There is no time, and there is no money. I mean, nobody believes this. Nobody believes this. No non-economist will believe this, that I'm going to tell you, that there is no actual money in economics,
Mm-hmm.
or in standard economics. It's not that they deny that money exists, just that they don't recognize the role it plays, as a link between present and future, and something that coordinates the whole of economic activity. So I realized this notion of economic rationality, of the standard notion of economic rationality, doesn't apply. Obviously, doesn't apply in practice, doesn't apply in theory. And what is it that experienced market participants are actually doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing? So go ask them, what are they doing? What they say they are doing? And they say that they smell the market, they feel the market. They resonate with it.
Right. And
Right.
so the practice and the way people feel, it's going to be a sensing it, a feeling it, a smelling it, that's informed by years of practice and talent like George Soros, but
Yes.
it could also be feeling it and smelling it in light of many uneducated prejudices for many people.
Sure. Yes. So that's right. So it's like, but these people aren't going to be as successful as George Soros.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're not talking about, doing whatever you smell or whatever you sense or whatever you have a hunch for, but simply explaining that, it is an added dimension. And that if you don't use it, in a way it's going to come in and play some kind of a role in a different way.
Well, the felt sense of an experienced market participant, and a good one, right? It already includes everything that is known explicitly. It's informed. It's not. It's informed. So it's very reliable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very, very reliable. And yet there is not everything that you feel is a situational felt sense. Put it this way. It's like and part of the learning is to know to separate what is then stuff that only has to do with you and yourself. Your fear, your greed, you're wanting to be right, you're not wanting to be wrong, and you and the boss, and you and this and that and the other. Stuff which has to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
With your wanting to prove your worthiness, your competitive, whatever it is. And has nothing to do with the sense of the situation, of what's happening out there.
Mm-hmm.
And often, it's not this individual emotional hang-ups. And they interfere with people's capacity to access their felt knowing.
Right. So maybe let me try and say it in a slightly different way to see if we're on the same wavelengths. That in a way, the felt sense that, say, somebody, an actor in the financial market experiences, has several components, all into one felt sense. And one of them is the rational, logical information that is available to this person. Another one is a grasp of the market situation as a whole. which is in part fed by that concrete information, but in part felt by the sensing ability. And there's another layer, which is also the baggage of this person, and can include things such as wanting to be right, having an axe to grind, wanting to prove something, and that can distort, the overall felt sense.
That's right. So that's right. So you have the personal stuff, right? The personal stuff, which the less mature you are, the more it's going to interfere on the one hand. Then you have the type of things that people normally pay attention to, like conventional variables, right? Or it's like when an analyst will explain to you why is this like this and why is it like that, right? So later, I don't know, you can have price earning ratios, you can have this, that, and the other, you can have whatever, many different ways of explaining. And then you have the felt sense of the whole. As you said, it's like it's only by resonance that we have a sense of the whole as it moves. The conventional variables, or the variables taken into account in the conventional explanations and in the analysis, they are acontextual. They don't have context.
They're a frame.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So now our felt sense of the whole as it moves. Our felt sense of the whole as it moves. It's an invisible thing, right? It is like it's like this funny feelings that go so the more schooled we are in working with it, the easier it is to also have your mind working together with your gut.
Right. So that there is kind of a due process to test that information on both from both parts.
That's right.
And so I want to maybe add a little something, because when you mentioned that felt sense as giving you a sense of what to do, that it may, it feels totally consistent with the idea that, in a way, our brain evolved in terms of giving us actionable information. It's not, our brain is not evolved as a computer to give abstract knowledge or store abstract knowledge, but to give actionable information in terms of do this, do that, go right, go left, hide, run away, this kind of stuff. And so the felt sense within that context is actionable information in terms of paying attention to the situation as a whole and then deciding what to do about it.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, I myself don't care that much about brain theories. But one could say that that's not wrong, what you're saying. Yes. What you're saying is not wrong. Yeah.
And so, what do we do with this? Let's, putting it back in the context of, dealing with uncertainty. How do we know what we know? How do we make decisions in life in general, in finance, in the stock market?
Well, so then, I began then to study different practices of different body-mind practices, given that gut feelings are something that have to do with the body, I began to study different body-mind practices and adapt them to the market situation and see what that was part of my postdoc research. In psychology. My doctorate is in finance, and then I was a postdoc in psychology. So I tried many different things, and until I bumped into focusing. And so then I created an adaptation of it, and then with many other layers on top of it. But the basis is focusing that teaches teaching traders, investors, how to access their gut knowing and use it systematically and reliably in decision making. And I began to teach that, and then it's beautiful how you can see the money coming out of the sessions, you know, because then you see, like, look, it's true, it's true. It in fact works. It makes money, you know. So this is not just some kind of something that you do on the weekends to relax, to feel better, some kind of spiritual thing that is on the side. Actually it belongs in life.
Yeah. So it is actually a better tool, period.
It is an extremely useful tool. Yes.
Yeah. So in a world where we have to make decisions based on uncertainty, it is about availing ourselves of that tool and learning to use our innate ability to have a felt sense of the situation as a whole and integrate it with our ability to also use logic.
That's right. And you know, and very often, logic comes afterwards, in retrospect. It's like the more you learn, the more you work with your felt sensing, the more also you can trust it. The more you can trust it and just let yourself be guided by it, and then things make sense then, and things then make total sense afterwards.
Yeah. So that guidance, but maybe that might be a moment to come back in a way to economic theory. In the sense of looking at it, you know, not as, when we think about economics, we think in terms of model, we think about math, we think about data sets and so on, things of that nature. But, you know, maybe this relates more to the idea that actually economics is a social phenomenon, is what people do as people, it's a mass phenomenon as opposed to, say, the way physics works.
Well, I mean, I think it does work the way that physics work, but like it's more like quantum physics. It's not like Newtonian physics.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like Newtonian physics, and in fact, like standard economic theory, there is no role for money, which is a social technology. It's a social technology, and once that which coordinates activity across people and in time is a social technology, then you have this indeterminacy. Right? You have this indeterminacy, and there will always you can. and then you see, like, how then do we make decisions given that it is so? So you can't reduce a risk and return to a single dimension, like in the expected, maximizing expected utility, rationality notion.
Right.
You will always, there is a part of you, and that's true of any decision, there is a part of you which is cautionary and tends to withdraw, and there is a part of you which is assertive and tends to go and goes forward. Right. In any decision, you will find that. Mm-hmm. And which exact compromise these two forces will make, maybe compromise is not even the right word for this, is like how exactly they are going to collaborate in each situation actually depends on the situation itself.
Right.
And this is why formal models alone cannot tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm. And so it's also related to what you were saying about money, that in a way, in classic theory, money is, in a way, it doesn't exist. It's just it's a means to an end. But there is something then, as we come back to human decision, there's a concept of value and how we create value, how we make up value, in the individual decisions and the mass decisions that collectively create fluctuations in value.
Yes, that's right. Because the common constraint of the system is endogenous. It results from the decisions of everybody and everybody is making decisions, making assumptions about the decisions that everybody else is making. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So you can say, like in standard economics, the prototype of an economic agent is a consumer. And an economic transaction is an exchange, like a barter, which is over in a point in time. But if you recognize, no, wait a second, we have a monetary economy here, and a monetary economy means that it's a contractual economy. Mm-hmm. Right? And which is based on, debt and credit relations. Mm-hmm. Then we can say, okay, wait a second. There we have the missing relationships, right?
To go back a little bit to that concept of contractual model.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are talking about contractual in the context of a monetary economy, mm-hmm. rather than a barter economy, which is how standard economics models everything, right? Mm-hmm. Even the financial market. So for within standard economics, you will take, it's like that which constrains the system, the common constraint is the availability of physical resources. Mm-hmm. And they will say, okay, the financial monetary sphere will just reflect what's happening at the real sphere of the economy. Mm-hmm. And we say, no, it's the other way around. We have what happens in the real economy that is secondary to what's happening in the financial economy. That's what's ruling the roost, Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I mean, this is like what's off with economic thinking. Everybody knows, right? There is something wrong with standard economic theory. Even it was really nice in 2008 with the crisis. The Queen of England asked. She said, "But how come none of the economists saw this happening?" And she's a very reasonable woman. Yeah. And says, how is that possible? How is that possible that nobody saw it happening? Then Greenspan was also asked, and he said, we missed something. Our models were wrong. And what really went missing in the models was money. And how does a monetary economy function?
Right.
As opposed to a barter economy.
Right. So money is not just something very neutral, but it has a life of its own, and it actually drives the economy as a whole.
Exactly. It has a life of its own, and it's a really interesting thing. I'm so interested in cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bitcoin and everything that is in development, beginning with and began being developed with Bitcoin. I love the fact that the knowledge that money is invented and inventable. That the fact that this has arrived somehow, or it's arriving in the awareness of most people, right? Just like money went missing, money because it is a social construct went missing from standard economics, which mimics physics. But now it's wait a second. Not only normal money is invented, but money in general is inventable. And then money is inventable. Money is programmable. And money is something which, I love money. I think it's the most fascinating thing ever. It's like if you see how it is such an interesting juncture, in our senses of ourselves. It's like our worldviews are completely enmeshed. Our sense of ourselves and our world is completely enmeshed with our notions of what money is, how it works, what it was like when we were little in our families, what is it like in the relationships, and yet it's invisible because it's like it's a wallpaper. It's something which is there, so it's there all the time. You don't see it.
Right.
Like it's an elusive obvious.
Yeah. So I like that word, elusive, obvious.
Yes.
We take it for granted, but also what we keep forgetting is that it's something that's invented. It's a social construct. So as a result, it's not something that either is totally stable and neutral, and it's not something that is just quote unquote economic as if such a thing existed, but it's something that has a social life that depends on human beings and human beings as a whole, as a group, as a tribe, as a large mass phenomenon.
That's right. And because it is so much in the fabric of ourselves as we move in the world, right? Then it's like both across people and within people. Then this like your sense of yourself and your worldviews and how you interact with other people and how the whole gets coordinated. It's immense. There is no other single variable where if you change people's understanding of it, you can get broader change.
Mm-hmm.
That can have a larger impact than that.
So in a way, the paradox is on that most subjective of things. We actually, in lots of ways, in quote serious analysis, pretend that it's neutral and we completely miss the actually power and value of money.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah, I'm really having fun thinking about money and in the context of cryptocurrencies and how to invent a currency of abundance instead of scarcity.
Yeah, so you want to develop that a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. It's like I think there is nothing more capable of, it's like affecting social change than money, one's relationship to money, the concept of money, what money is for you, how money works, your understanding of money. And imagine a money that functions differently. It can coexist with normal money. So this is what I've been thinking about lately. I love the idea of inventing money. How fun is that?
So, in a way, we have been, focusing on too narrow a definition of money as just a way to measure and facilitate commercial transactions. But where this is going is to say that money is part of all transactions, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and this larger thinking about money is putting it into the wider framework. Where, yes, in a way, the same way that primitive money, cowrie shells or whatever it is, allowed transactions that were not possible before, the idea of dreaming up this kind of new money would be something that would broaden the field in which money has an impact and, potentially transform a system of scarcity into a system of abundance.
Well, yes. So can you imagine, like, if we can, in fact, people talk about value in two different ways, right? On the one, there is how much things cost, prices, and the other thing is, okay, what they value, what matters to them, what's important to them, right? And so often when people think that, okay, let's go back to what people fundamentally value, then they think, okay, to do that we have to get money out of the picture. We have to go back to a gift economy. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. And then now, but what I'm interested in is something else. It's like the possibility of inventing money, which in fact allows people to place economic value in what they truly, personally value. In what is valuable for them.
Good. Okay, so I'm curious.
Yes. Well, this is still in the making. It's in the making. This type of thing I've been thinking about.
Okay, great. So in a way, this is a part where we're in the area of uncertainty because it's out of the box. And from inside the box, it's not conceivable. So it's difficult to even try to describe it from inside the box. But this is something in which you have a sense of possibility that is giving you a perception of what might be outside the box.
Yes, of course. It's like when we speak about uncertainty, that which escapes what's already formatted. That's the negative side of it, right? And then the other side of this very same coin is the sense of possibility.
Yeah. And so maybe that comes back to the image you were giving before. You were talking about when we make decisions, in a way we're confronted between two sides of ourselves. And this is talking about two other sides, is the sense of being constrained by the frame, by the box, and the sense, on the other hand, the sense of possibility of what might exist outside of it.
So there you have a situation that demands a decision, and all you have is a box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all you have is a box. Then we can say, in relating to that, like with that box, depending on you, your parents, the situation, you will have, there will be a part of you that wants to withdraw, and a part of, in a fearful part of you that doesn't want to do anything, and then, and wants to withdraw, and then a more aggressive, assertive part of you that wants to go on anyway, despite your funny feelings, and ignore the funny feelings. The withdrawing part will tend to succumb to collapse from under the awareness of uncertainty, and the aggressive one will deny it and want to go on anyway. Right, so we can say those are the two tendencies working at their extremes and not together. But either one or the other, right? It's like this, the emotional aspects of that is like are the irrelevancies that we were talking about initially, right? That to get to a felt sense of a situation, you cannot get caught by your own emotionality, your own fear of being wrong, and your own wanting to be right, or to prove something. Those show up as you meet the mismatch between the box, right, between what's already formatted and what the situation is asking for. And then once you can bypass them, you can find your situational sense, then you can feel out of the box. You are out of the box.
Right. So the situational sense, in a way, functions as an anchor, because it's giving you, even though it's not static, but it's giving you a perspective. And that perspective is that gut feeling you have about the situation as a whole, which is already in a way a decision, a sense of what you want to do inside. And having that gives you a better way to deal with the conflict between, say, the fearful part that is collapsing and the adventurous part that's going forward, because now there is a direction along which to organize a negotiation of these two parts, instead of dealing with simply an old sterile debate saying it's better to be fearful or it's better to be bold.
Yes, exactly. This is not something that you can decide in principle.
Right.
Right. It's like in a situation. I mean, it's always bad to be fearful, but to have caution is always a necessary element. Right? Like the fear is a degeneration or the cautionary tendency.
Right. So this mode of looking at things, of paying attention to that situational felt sense, is introducing the present moment, is introducing facing reality.
Well, it's introducing. Well, it is for sure. It's like you're felt sensing in the now, right? You have it now. That's right. Now you can say yes, reality, but reality includes what's possible, right? The space of the possible is also real.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean reality in a sense of limitation. In other words, I didn't mean reality in the sense of stay in the box. Far from that. But I meant reality of the present moment, as opposed to abstract thinking or baggage or
Yes,
yeah.
yes. The situation. Yes, that's right. The present situation. That's right. Yes.
Is there something that would feel right to conclude this conversation?
Well, yes. It's like often people try to eliminate subjectivity out of their decision making, out of their policies, and actually, this is completely off. You want to get better. No, you don't want to eliminate it. You want to get better at it. You don't want to reduce possible action. You want to increase your repertoire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like working with what's subjective is not biased. No, it's not necessarily. I mean, in some way it is biased, but so what? It's not negatively biased. Put it this way, something that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people think, okay, no, this is just me. This is just me. This doesn't read as if it didn't count.
Right. But so this is redefining subjectivity, but
Yes.
in a way also redefining, our own sense of what is human, but also our own sense of who we are as a person. It's not, I'm not a machine, therefore I'm imperfect, but actually, reveling in the subjectivity.
Well, yes, that is what is uniquely yours. That is, at least potentially, right? That is what cannot be standardized. Mm-hmm. That is what cannot be automatized.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is in our humanness, in our subjective humanness, that we can feel when something which is already formatted, when a piece of data doesn't jive.
Right.
And the more formatted the world becomes, the more dataified the world becomes, the more we need that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as you said earlier, it's not that we need it simply as an escape from the world, but again, need it to function better.
Yes, that's right.
Thanks, Flavia.
You're very welcome.
This is part of the Active Pause podcast at activepause.com.
Defining subjectivity, but yes, in a way also redefining, our own sense of what is human, but also our own sense of who we are as a person. It's not, I'm not a machine, therefore I'm imperfect, but actually, reveling in the subjectivity.
Well, yes, that is what is uniquely yours. That is, at least potentially, right? That is what cannot be standardized. Mm-hmm. That is what cannot be automatized.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is in our humanness, in our subjective humanness, that we can feel when something which is already formatted, when a piece of data doesn't jive.
Right.
And the more formatted the world becomes, the more dataified the world becomes, the more we need that. Yeah.
And as you said earlier, it's not that we need it simply as an escape from the world, but again, need it to function better.
Yes, that's right.
Thanks, Flavia.
You're very welcome.
This is part of the Active Pause podcast at activepause.com.